thinking about the scene in Borderlands where they go into Piss Gulch and then they all get sprayed in piss and the psycho says, golden showers. Thinking about the moment in Borderlands where this, in the Borderlands movie, when Krieg the Psycho jumps out of his prison cell, he yells, "It's psycho time," and then he psychos all over the place. Crazy times, huh? Crazy frickin' times. Cannot believe that he says, "It's psycho time." Randy, why? Yeah, they go to Piss Wash Gully, and then they all get sprayed in piss, including the child character, and then the Borderlands psycho says, "Oh boy, golden shower." Wow, I've never seen something, you know, I'm still thinking about that whole movie, and I don't think I've ever seen anything more creatively bankrupt in my life. And I've seen U-Bowls, Blood Rain, and Blood Rain 2. I can't tell if you're fucking with us or if that happened. Did the golden shower line actually happen in the movie? No, that actually happened in the movie. Unironically, that's a moment that happens in the movie. Tiny Tina rolls the window down when they're in Piss Wash Gully, and then they all get sprayed in hot Thresher piss, and then the Borderlands psycho yells, "Golden shower!" There's a moment at the end of the movie when Lilith gets her siren powers, where Tiny Tina looks at Lilith and says, "Do the thing, do the thing." She says, "Do the thing," in the year of our Lord 2024, and then Lilith flies up into the sky and does the Firehawk thing. She does the thing. It's so crazy. Yeah, dude, she does the thing. Dude, it is so crazy, but she does the thing. Is Borderlands now irreparable for movies now? No, I think so, yeah. I really think that they should have just gone with, they literally had the perfect opportunity to do something with Borderlands. And for me, that opportunity is easy. Here's what I would do with the Borderlands movie, and here's how I would fix it. You just make it a movie about vault hunters going and vault hunting into the vault. That's it. You make it a road trip movie. You have one big villain. It could be Commander Steele. It could be General Knox. I got really confused because there's a character that's supposed to be just Commander Steele, but they call her General Knox, and I'm like, that's not General Knox. And whatever, change whatever you want with that. But genuinely, I think the best way to go about a Borderlands movie is make it a fun road trip style movie with cool action, cool set pieces, and have them open the vault at the end. You know, the ending of Borderlands 1 is really, really funny. When you think about it, outside of like even the games, they want to open up this mystical alien vault, and there's a giant creature in there, and it fucks everybody over. The fact that they changed that to where the vault activated Lilith's magic siren powers because now she's a fucking she's the MacGuffin and she has to fulfill some dogshit dumbass prophecy is stupid. That's stupid. That's so dumb. And the thing is, it's not even Borderlands humor. The worst thing I can say about the movie, chat. I generally got to turn the camera on for this one because I have to tell you, chat. I have to say this with the utmost impetus and utmost importance. You have to understand that I have to say this to your face, okay? Because this is the worst thing I'll ever say about a movie in my life, okay? All right. The Borderlands movie is the way, you know the way that people talk about Marvel movies, right? Looks like my hair's all fucked up. There we go. You know the way that people talk about Marvel movies when they say like Marvel dialogue, and it's not really coming from like a critical place, it's coming from like a regurgitative place where they've heard somebody else say it before, and they think that any like quippy witticisms are Marvel dialogue, like, well, that just happened. And not all Marvel movies are like that. You know, there are moments of action and there are cool set pieces, even in the bad ones. The Borderlands movie is the way that people describe Marvel movies. That is, I think, the worst thing I could say about that movie. The Borderlands movie is actually the way that people describe Marvel movies. Like, genuinely. Like, I genuinely have never sat through a movie that made me be like, oh my God, they're just saying things that a Marvel character would say. This is dialogue that an 8th grader would write, okay? You know, in Marvel, there's like moments where Iron Man says, that guy's playing Galaga. You thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. But that's not like the whole of the movie, right? There are moments of the movie where, even in the Avengers, even in Whedon's writing, where there's actual people talking about actual things. In Borderlands, that never happens. It never happens. Throw away the casting problems. I don't even give a shit. You could have made the casting work. You could have made the lore changes work and it would have been fine. I don't give a shit if you changed the video game in the movie, right? I don't care. It is your interpretation of the video game. If you want to change it for the better. Change it, right? Change the cast. Have Lilith be old. Have Jamie Lee Curtis be Tannis. That's all fine, right? That's not a big deal. But the fact that the dialogue is so heinously written, there was a point in the movie where Tiny Tina has 2 bunnies of her bombs, and she's like throwing them off of a train, throwing a bunch of bombs off a train. And I swear to God, it looked like a Robert Rodriguez movie. It looked like Spy Kids. And not in a good way, not in a complimentative way, in a this looks like a movie from 2002, what the fuck did you do way. It is an assault on the fucking senses. It is a goddamn nightmare to the ears, and it is not good in any single fucking way. They literally have a guy dressed as the dubstep boss from Borderlands 3 helping out the company, and that was the thing that made me say, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's just a guy you fight real quick with the helmet. Why the fuck does Atlas have this guy? Like, what is happening here? Like, lore-wise, it's a fucking mess, but who gives a shit? Because if you want to interpret a video game, interpret it differently. You know, change up the lore, right? Who gives a shit? Okay. But they didn't tell an interesting story, and everything's a fucking weird mess. Roland didn't even throw out his turret. Like, I thought you could at least have a really cool moment where, like, Roland throws out his turret, and it, like, shoots the gun and goes, brrr. That would have been, like, a sick moment. You could have done, like, a POV cam of the turret, and you could have, like, set it up really cool. There are things you could have done. And I don't even have a problem with Krieg being there, you know, with Tannis and Tiny Tina being there. I'm more concerned that there was no, like, cool turret moment where Roland could have thrown his turret out. But then, okay, end of the movie, Lilith gets her siren powers, and she doesn't do much cool with it. She just gives Tiny Tina a shield and Krieg a shield and Roland a shield, and then maybe throws a couple of fireballs, and that's like it. And you're like, why are you not incinerating every single person in the vicinity? They go into the vault, and it's fucking boring. There's a bunch of floating cubes, and the destroyer, you see his tentacles, and he eats a guy, and that's it. Like, it doesn't eat Lilith. It doesn't pop out and, like, destroy everybody. And then they're just back in the town partying it up. Like, that's it. The fucking movie it's a disgrace. Like, I can't explain to you how much of a piece of shit this movie is. It is not even fun to go and see as a bad movie. It's just actually bad. If anybody defends this movie to any extent, they are a contrarian to the highest regard, and I think they should be obliterated or sent into orbit. Does it end with a dance party? No, it ends with a generic Final Fantasy-style fireworks scene. They could have done literally anything, and they changed everything to fit around a story that just sucked. They changed Tiny Tina's backstory, which fine, but they made her a Star Child clone baby. Fucking dumb. They changed Lilith's backstory to where she was raised by Tannis, which, like, not a big deal, but, like, Cate Blanchett is 10 years younger than Jamie Lee Curtis. And so, like, then how old is Cate Blanchett Lilith supposed to be? Is it supposed to be 40s, 30s? How old is Jamie Lee Curtis Tannis supposed to be? Like, 70s, 80s? Like, what the high beals? Like, what? Little confusing, like, nitpicks like that, right? But the story is basically Star Child magically able to open the vault. They don't even, like, discuss anything about the sirens. It's just, well, you have Iridian blood. That's how you open up the vault, because you're an Iridian. And it's like, dude, you can even take, like, the basic from the lore. All you needed was the vault key powered by a siren. And even then, like, just mostly the vault key. You could have done so many cool fucking things with that. Like, there's such a loose framework, as somebody said in chat, to the Borderlands story that you could do anything with it, right? You could even just convert Borderlands 2 into that, right? You can do anything with Borderlands 1, and you can take all the games and take the good pieces out and put them all together and do, like, a hodgepodge of good shit. Do the Iridians make an appearance? No. There's not a single alien. There's not even an alien corpse. It reeks of desperate, right? As somebody who reeks of desperation 90% of the time, it reeks of desperation. Like, I sometimes try a bit too hard to be funny, but even I was like, woof, dude, woof. Not a single genuine moment. It is so fake. It's so gross. Like I said, lore, no, you don't have to care about the lore. If you want to be a nerd and nitpick the lore, this movie will give you a fucking aneurysm, okay? You don't have to give a shit about it. Even throwing the lore out the window. Like, I could literally sit here. I could actually sit here for probably about 3 hours and talk and nitpick how, like, they fucked shit up, like, lore-wise. Throw that shit out the window. Nobody gives a fuck, okay? That's nerd shit. Even throwing the nerd shit out the window, there's no defensible position for this movie. You could throw all the nerd shit out the window and the movie is still a fucking train wreck, okay? And it would have been better if there was a train wreck in the movie. The best part of the movie, IMO, is the, like, 5 seconds you get to see Marcus's introduction video to Vault Hunters, and Lilith just, I'm not a Vault Hunter. For the first, like, fucking 30 minutes of the movie, Lilith is, I'm not a vault hunter, I'm a bounty hunter. Don't call me a vault hunter, I'm not a vault hunter, I'm a bounty hunter. I'm not a vault hunter, I'm not a vault hunter, I'm a bounty hunter. I'm not a vault hunter, I'm not a vault hunter, I'm a bounty hunter. And I'm like, why the fuck is she reiterating this? Literally, you could just make her a fucking vault hunter. It's so annoying. I'm not a vault hunter. I'm not a vault hunter. No, I'm not a vault hunter. I'm not a vault hunter. No, I'm not a vault hunter. I'm a bounty hunter. I'm not a vault hunter. I'm here to find a kid. I'm not a vault hunter. I'm a bounty hunter. I'm a vault hunter. I'm not a vault hunter. I'm not a vault hunter. Well, now I'm a vault hunter. Okay, but now I'm a vault hunter. But I'm a bounty hunter. All this shit, I'm Pandora. Pandora fucking sucks. You know, I'm a fucking bounty hunter. I don't even want to be here. Sheesh. Like, dude. Jack Black Claptrap, by the way. Jack Trap. Jack Black did not have to do the Claptrap voice. If they had just had Jack Black do his normal Jack Black voice, it would have been infinitely better. By and large, infinitely better. They could have just had him do the normal Jack Black voice, but he did the Claptrap voice, and he did a really bad Claptrap voice throughout the entirety of the movie. I did not chuckle one single time at Jack Black Claptrap, and like Claptrap is supposed to be annoying, but dude. And like out of all this cast, I think Jack Black probably has the most like experienced voice acting because he did all of like Kung Fu Panda and a bunch of other shit, like Brutal Legend. He's in Psychonauts. But dude, Jack Trap is really bad. It's really fucking bad. And like the worst part of it is he was probably the one who felt like he was having the most fun, partially because he didn't really have to be on set. The Borderlands movie, I like, honestly, like I said, take out the like lore bitching, take out the nerd shit, and if you watch it even without knowing anything about Borderlands, it's still miserable, right? Right? It is fundamentally garbage. It is, I would rather watch Madam Web again. Madam Web can at least be funny bad. I would rather watch Madam Web again. I would rather sit through Madam Web twice than watch the Borderlands movie one more time. And I'm still going to buy the Borderlands movie on Blu-ray. Still going to buy it on Blu-ray. Want it on my fucking shelf. It's going to be a talking point whenever people look at my movie collection and they see, why the fuck do you own Borderlands? Because it deserves to be there. I bought that copy so that somebody else didn't have to buy it. It goes to show that, like, you would have just done better if you had just actually looked at your game and, you know, done that. They could have done like Borderlands 1 story where just go to place, open up vault. And you could have just done that. But instead, you really wanted to make a savior magic prophecy bullshit story that ended up having 4 lifeless, vacuous characters that constantly bicker and bitch without an ounce of fun and endlessly and ceaselessly gravitate towards quipping rather than saying anything of substance. I would rather watch Gooby. I would rather sit through the Jeremy Renner Bourne movie. I would rather watch U-Bull's Blood Rain. I would rather watch Buy Bust on Blu-ray and DVD. I would rather watch Shin Godzilla backwards, slowed down 400%. I can't describe like how miserable it is to see that movie. And like maybe you should see it just to understand how miserable a movie really can be, would be my recommendation. If you want to see, was Krieg anything? Krieg said it's psycho time at the very beginning of the movie when he was introduced. Does that tell you what Krieg was? He says it's psycho time, and then he psychos all over the place. And that's not, I'm not making that up. He says it's psycho time, and then he psychos all over the place. If you want to see how miserable a movie could be, then watch the Borderlands movie. And I genuinely mean that. I don't mean that from a place of like nerd push-up glasses. I don't mean that from a place of like, this is not an overreaction. This is not an overestimation. This is a dead serious, genuine. If you want to see how miserable a movie could be, watch the Borderlands movie. And that's the only reason to see it. It is the worst piece of shit I have seen in probably about 10 years. Without the nerd shit, with the understanding that I wanted to give the cast a chance, it is actively and actually dreadful to watch. It is boring. There is nothing worse, I think, for a movie to be than boring. If a movie is bad, okay, good, all right, you waste a little time. When a movie is bad, you can at least make fun of it. Borderlands isn't worth making fun of. It's not. It's just boring. It is empty. It is a shell. It is a creative project without any creativity. It leaves you feeling empty and made me feel like I wanted to put the border in my lands, meaning I wanted to put a gun in my mouth. And that's some epic loot, baby. They didn't even do like any like loot bits. They didn't even like do any like video gamey bits. Because at least in a video game movie, if I see a video gamey bit, I can be like, oh, that's a neat perspective or a neat shot. Like, video games are a medium that is inherently interactive, and there are so many cool things you can do with bringing that perspective. Like, even the Doom movies have, like, the first-person shots, and those can be kind of cool, at least. You can be like, oh, like Doom. But it is, there is nothing of value. Not a single iota of value to be found. Not a spark of humanity within this movie. It is dreadful. It is dreadful. It is dreadful. It is dreadful. That is all I can say. It may not be the worst movie ever made, but by God, is it boring and dreadful and empty. Don't watch it. Or watch it if you want to, like I said, if you want to see how miserable it is, if you want to be like, Brendan overreacting again. I'm not saying it's like the death of art or anything, but I'm just saying, if you want to see how miserable a movie can be, watch the Borderlands movie, all right? You don't got to take me at face value. You can disbelief of me. But I swear to you, if you want to see how miserable a movie can get, then watch the Borderlands movie.